everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here with another book haul. Yes, another book haul. I am so addicted to reading right now. So we went to Walmart the other day and I was looking at that series and it was 40% off. So I got both of them. They're from Victoria Aveyard and it's The Red Queen and The Glass Sword. And I've heard a lot of stuff about these books. Some people, the first book, they're kind of but other people really like it. But everyone seems to like the second book. And I just love reading, so I can see that anything about kingdoms and that kind of stuff, I totally like. Now, this next series is kind of hefty, and it's from Patrick Rothfuss, and it's The Name of the Wind. And this is day 1, and the second day is The Wise Man's Fear. It's the King Killer Chronicles, day 2. And there's supposed to be a third one, but he's not written it yet. And it's about a famous wizard, and he's telling his life story to a chronicler who's writing it down. And so apparently it's action-packed, and it's high fantasy, and it sounds really good, but it's very, very thick. The first one is 670 pages. And the second one is 998 pages. Basically 1,000 pages. Let me see. 996. So that's going to be quite a hefty read. And it's not like big writing. But it sounds really interesting. Next, I got The Baines Chronicle from Cassandra Clare. And it's just sort of... he's one of the characters, and now this book is about him, I believe. And I don't know, it's Magnus Bane, but I don't know if it's novellas. Yeah, it looks like it might be novellas, but it sounds good, and I wanted to make sure that I read the entire series because I just bought A Lady Midnight too, also in my last haul. Now, that was all from Chapters. Now, also from Chapters, I started getting the Brandon Sanderson, I think it's a trilogy, The Mistborn. And so this is the first book. And then from Book Outlet, I got the rest of the series for really cheap. But they didn't have the first book, and I want to start reading it soon. So that's another one. Now, from Chapters, I got this one. It's from Diana Gabaldon, and it's the Outlander series. And I know there's a ton of books, but I decided to just get the first one and give it a try. And then if I like it, look how many there is. It's a lot of them, and they're all pretty hefty. This one too is, well, it's 662 pages, but the writing is super small. But I got the 20th anniversary edition, and it's so pretty. It has its own bookmark inside, but it's so pretty. I love it. Then I had gotten on Book Outlet, I had gotten book 2 and 4 of the Water Song series, and I didn't have book 1, so it was at Chapters. So I got it, and it's called Wake. And I really love the cover. It really looks like water. It's pretty. Now this, I think it's going to be a trilogy for now. I don't know if there's any more books, but there's The Winter's Curse, The Winter's Crime, and then there's The Winter's Kiss that's just coming out, or is just coming out soon, or has just come out. And I've heard a lot of people say that they really liked it, and it was... both the first and the second book were on Book Outlet for super cheap, so I got them both. I think the other one was maybe in another haul, and I love the big writing and everything. So I got that. Also from Chapters, I got the Raven Boys. I guess there's 4 books, so I don't know how many books there's going to be, but it's supposed, a lot of people like it. It's from Maggie Steve-Vada. And a lot of people like it, so I thought I'd give it a try. It sounds interesting. Now, I got book 3 in my last haul, I believe, from Book Outlet. So when I went to chapters and it was like under $10, I was like, yep, I'm getting that because I want to start the series. It's from Kirsten Gear, and this has to do with time traveling. So I'm looking, and this one is called Ruby Red. The second one is Sapphire Blue, so I don't have that one. Now, I've been watching a lot of BookTube, and some people are saying that this is one of their favorite fantasy novel. It's a duology. It's Eon and Iona. Now, my chapters didn't have the second book, but they had the first book. I love the cover. And it's all books that my son can read too, and it's from Alison Goodman. So I am looking forward to reading that, and I love that it's the writing is that big. It's going to make it a whole lot easier, but that's another hefty book. Oh, they have the second book in there, a little bit of it. 531, so that's going to take me a bit of time. Now I started getting this series, and it's the Fairy series. It's called Fairy Path, and I have a few of the books. I think I have 1 and maybe 6 or something like that. So this was book 5, and book 3, The Enchanted Quest, The Seventh Daughter. They're all by Truan Jones. And so I'm trying to, as they're showing up on Book Outlet, they're only a couple of dollars. And if they don't eventually come there, what I'll do is I'll just get them on my Kindle if they're about the same price. Cheap. This is the book 1, I believe, from V.E. Schwab, and it's a darker shade of magic. I believe the second book just came out. So this was super cheap, so I got it on Book Outlet. If you see a book that's sort of new, you know, you might want to get it right away because they don't stay there long. Now this one here sounded so interesting. It's the Conspiracy of Us, and it's also a series by Maggie Hall. And you know, at the top it says, an ancient puzzle, a trail of clues, and unwanted destiny. It sounds so good. So, and also this has, I believe the second book is already out. So, and it was again cheap, so I got it, and it was hardcover. Now this is the same author that is writing the Water Song books, and this is the whole series in one book. It's called the Trial Trilogy by Amanda Hocking, and there's 3 books in one. There's Switch, Torn, and Ascendant. So I like that. I like that they're all in there, and I'll be able to read them all. And just one book, and it was super cheap. So I got that, and I'm slowly collecting all the books from Michelle Mead from the Bloodline series. And I think this was book number 4. Yes, this is book number 4. And again, these books here, if they don't go on Book Outlet, I'll just get it on my Kindle and read it. I don't care whether it's a physical book, these ones, or on my Kindle. It doesn't matter to me. Now, this is book 3 and 4 from the Mistborn, I believe it's a trilogy, and The Well of Ascension and The Hero of Ages from Brandon Sanderson. And I've been hearing so many good things about that author and so many good things about this series. So I can't wait to get into it. And that's, again, is a series that my son can read. That's right up his alley. The next one, this sounds really good. And there's a second book. I'll have to make sure I look for it. It says, 5 years ago I died. 178 minutes later I woke up. And it's a thriller. And the second book is Rebel. And it sounded really good. I read the synopsis, and it sounded like something I wanted to read. So, looking forward to it. And the author is Amy Tintera. Anyway, it sounded really good. There was another book on Book Outlet from Patrick Rothfuss, and it's The Slow Regard of Silent Things. And it's a really, really thin book, but it was super cheap, so And like I said, I've heard so many good things about this author. I thought I'd give him a try. Now, this is the 4th book in the Water Song series. It's called Elegy, and it's by Amanda Hocking. So I don't know if there's another book after this one or not. I don't know if this is sort of the finale or this is... It doesn't say there's another one, so it might be a 4 book. And it's pretty thick. So the only one I have missing now is number 3. That's cool. Now from Kristen Gear, she's the one that wrote the Ruby Red trilogy, or whatever it's called. And Dream a Little Dream. And again, it sounded super interesting when I looked at it. And it was super cheap. So I got that one. Just a few more. So from Lee Bardugo, it's the Shadow and Bone trilogy. And they were all on Book Outlet. And they were all super cheap. So I got them all. So it's Shadow and Bone, Rune and Rising, and Siege and Storm. I couldn't tell you the order that they're in. But I know a lot of people said that they absolutely loved it. So I can't wait to get in. I love series, trilogies, whatever. I just love that you're in that world for an X amount of time. So I really like that. Now from Jenny Hubbard and We Stay. This sounds really good and it won an award. But it's about a kid that walks into the school, threatens his girlfriend, and then he commits suicide, and then she's sent away, and she's trying to deal with all the trauma of that. And then from Sophie Kinsella, 20s Girls, and it was super cheap. So, and I love Sophie Kinsella, so I know I'm going to love this book because she's a fun writer. Now this book, I know that it's going to rip my heart out. And it sounds like someone, the little bit that I read, someone that was, kidnapped. And then they end up having a kid. And she's in a room with this child. And she's trying to make it as comfortable as possible, to be in that situation. So it sounds, this was at Costco, and so I paid $10 for it, but it sounded so good, I had to get it. Now, another one is that I got at Book Outlet that was super cheap. Oh, and this is by Emma Donahue. This is Romina Russell, and it's called Zodiac Novel, and it's about the zodiac signs, and it just sounded really interesting. It says beware of the 13th sign. So, and I believe that's a series too. So I love anything that's series. Or anything that's going to be a TV show. Excuse me. Or a movie. This one is called The Lovely Bones. And it's about a girl that was murdered. And then they find her bones. It says, I was 14 when I was murdered. So begins the story of Susie Salmon. So yeah, it sounds like it's going to be another one that's going to be a killer. I'm going to be crying. This is Jodi Picoult, and it's the 10th Circle, and I love her writing, so I just thought that it was really cheap again, so I got it. Now, I just have to step away because this one's a little further. But it's worth showing. I forgot to bring it over. I saw a few people mention this series on BookTube. And I was able to get it for $30 for the whole thing. So I was like, that's a pretty good deal. So I just went ahead and got it. It's the 7 Realms. And it is from Cindy William Chima, and it's high fantasy again. So the first book is The Demon King. I love that cover. Love that necklace. Then the second one is The Exiled Queen. And the third one is The Grey Wolf Throne. And the fourth one is The Crimson Crown. I love all the covers. They're so nice. And I can't wait to dive in. And like I said, I really like whenever it's a series because it's like a movie. I don't like movies as much as TV shows that last longer because you get to know the characters. Now on my Kindle, which I'll probably be getting more books on my Kindle because I'm already running out of room. So what I'm doing is I'm watching the daily deals. This I didn't buy on the daily deal, but I had bought, oh, I guess I forgot to show that, but I had bought the selection also at Chapters. I bought the selection from Kiera Cass because I wanted to start reading it, and I loved it so much that when I finished the book, I didn't want to wait for, you know, a physical book to come in. I didn't want to go to Chapters, so I ordered it, or I bought it on my Kindle, and it has the first 4 books, which I already had 2, but I paid the price of 1 for 4. So that was a good deal. Today's deal was Rebel Belle. I don't even know who the author is. Let me see if I can see the author. I don't know if I can see the author on this. Anyway, it's Rebel Belle. It's got 2 books out and the third one is coming out. And I also got The Enchanted. It's too small. I can't see who the author is. The School of Good and Evil. And then a couple of series, which they were really good price. There's like 5 or 6 books in each. It's The Iron Fae. And it's like, it's a continuation. So you have selection, or, you know, series 1 and series 2, which is awesome. And I got them for like $10 a piece. And then there was a whole bunch of novellas from the selection. And so I got them as a bundle. It's called Happily Ever After. And it's little books, novellas from different characters from the selection. I was going to say movie, which, by the way, it's going to be a movie sometime. They're working on it. And that's it. That's everything I got as far as books in the last 2 weeks. Thanks for watching. Bye.